Recording? Okay. Oh, I'm out of breath now. It's kind of a nice day. It was a hot day. It's pretty hot. I'm out of breath because there was a really neat looking park near my house, and I thought maybe I'd be able to get some video footage with the zip line, but there were kids there. I was smoking weed. Shouldn't smoke weed near kids. Oh, well, yes, it is hot. And you can see the sun. It's doing what sun things do, which is produce what I heard is a wet bulb temperature of stinking hot. That is a temperature at which point no amount of sweat can quell the horrible stench of your death. That's kidding. That's kidding. I'm being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic though. Fuck. Spent my whole day being like, I tell you, I'm not being dramatic. I've been saying this for a while. Shouldn't be surprising. But, needless to say, it still is surprising to a lot of people when they hear it in slightly different words when it's happening. Now today, it was cars. One of my favorite subjects. Because the reality is that there are just like so many people that drive them. And like, you know, it's easy to look at that and think that is intrinsically bound to the society we live in. There's no way we could extricate cars from this infrastructure, which, you know, as you can see down here, this used to be 4-lane, has now expanded to 6 lanes. And this is actually the same, one and the same connecting road, but that intersection is just up there. Oh, it's getting loud. Time to turn this on again. Yeah, as you can see, they've added a fuck ton of extra lanes even down there. Hasn't really done anything about the congestion, as one would expect. As you add more lanes, more space for cars. It's almost as though the solution to the problem is not to just perpetually run through this cycle where you're accommodating for cars with more and more lanes. How many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes this way, which is a lot of lanes for cars in this little tiny residential neighborhood. It's like a fucking highway. But this little neighborhood's safer, and I'm carrying brakes and sticks for cars. Almost finished this. You weren't watching. There we go. Across the road. Now I can talk again. Skeet. That's what we're doing now. It's not called tweeting. It's called skeeting. And when, not if, when you make it over to blue sky, you will go through a phase that everybody seems to go through. It's just a phase. That was so loud. The phase is, you won't like to call it skeeting. We use that word for other things. Everybody goes through it. It's fine. It's a natural part of development to not want to use the word ski, to write your thoughts on an app that looks unmistakably like the thing you tweet on. The tweets are for losers and Nazis. I thought I dropped something. I'm then I ended up actually dropping that roof. Where did I go? As long as it went into the grass, I don't see it on the sidewalk. Here's hoping the wind reduction mode works. It's actually very windy out too, but it's not a refreshing wind, of course, because as you heard, this is a wet bulb temperature of stinking hot. And the best way to cool down when it's stinking hot is to blast the heat with noise pollution. And cool beach clothes, which are probably going to be on sale, a bargain, at the end of the summer, because it'll start to cool down by then. And then everybody's going to need to get rid of their beach clothes, which none of us will have used that much, because the beaches will just be dead zones. Too hot. You don't want to sit on a beach, you just want to be in the water, and you can't just spend the whole day in Lake Ontario. No, you do not want to spend the whole day in Lake Ontario. I mean, if you're an E. coli researcher, you might want to spend a large portion of your day in Lake Ontario. Staphylococcus, all kinds of bacteria pathogen could be researched. But I doubt they're going there to cool themselves down in beautiful Lake Ontario, which is just sludgy. Let's hope this megaphone covers the engines of these cars. Here's the gas station where they make the juice. This is the juice we love. The gas station. Oh, what a bargain for that gas. I love slurping that up in my vehicle. Planetary vehicular gas. Oh, all over my face. Just pour the gasoline on my face. I feel like a lot of people on Twitter right now want to see unfucking hinge. That's what they want to see. So that when they do their concern trolling, go, Jasper, I'm concerned about you. Your behavior lately has been erratic. Have you been like exercising enough? I think maybe if you just like got out, took a walk, maybe touch some grass. Oh yeah, touch that grass. Touch it real good. Let it fall between your fingers like the 2021 Kanaka Reserve. The Kanaka Reserve grass. That's what you get in coming years. Oh, here we have another native sighting of grass. This is a real cool specimen. Not very heat resistant. Probably going to want to change that for some wildflowers, probably. Some pollinators. Grass doesn't feed bees. I mean, the pollen doesn't feed bees either. Don't get me wrong. The pollen just pollinates things. But without the pollen, Havoop. There's a new greeting. Havoop. Without the pollen, the flowers don't reproduce. And if the flowers aren't reproducing, the bees aren't pollinating the flowers. And that's kind of just like a really tiny lesson on microbiology, ecosystems, the fate, tiny balance between things like a flower and a bee, which for all intents and purposes is not upheld by grass in any way. This doesn't do anything, it's just green. Whoa! Big pow! There's one thing I really love, it's when vehicles go pow, pow, pow! I think that's pretty masculine. Oh, this is gonna make me so popular in my neighborhood. I could just see the looks on people's faces going, that guy seems really well adjusted. This could be a thing that well-adjusted people just do. Let's see if that fools anyone. Well-adjusted people carry megaphones. It's an accessory. But I'm brandishing it. I'm brandishing it like a weapon. This is my weapon. My big fucking mouth. Okay. We've reached our first stop here. They're friendlies. We don't need to bring the weapons. Well, we can keep the trusty steed at our sides here. Oh, my voice is cracking a lot from that shouting. A lot of voice slips there. So this is the nicotine vape store that is closest to my house, and yeah, I do indulge in some nicotine sometimes. It is actually better than smoking when you're vaping. I'm not saying it's perfect, but smoking cigarettes is really awful habit. Mostly just because of all the shit they put in it. It's a bad design. Cigarettes are bad design. If its necessary function requires that you accept massive increased chance of death. I should go behind the windshield again. The windshield, this building. Yeah, that to me constitutes a pretty bad design. And yeah, I smoked cigarettes. For about a decade actually, before I switched to this. Still recognizing that I was taking part in a business. Oh, there, nice wind-free zone. A business that perpetuated a bad design so bad that the product's purpose came with just fucking absurd amounts of death. Like way more than cars, I think. I don't have the statistics on me, but I'm almost fucking certain that lung cancer from cigarettes killed a whole fuck ton more people than cars did. And that's, you know, it's good because we're actually kind of almost done with that, you know? We look around, there aren't as many people smoking. Like seriously, I live in a smoker-ish city, grew up in a smoker town. People are not smoking cigarettes as much. Or they've moved to their homes, you know, or the numbers, when you look around, have visibly decreased. And that, to me, is a sign that eventually we all kind of started to catch on that was actually just, in earnest, a horrible design. Just a bad, not capital B bad, TM, just a bad design. If your design kills more than one people, it was probably not like fully baked, is kind of just what I'm saying, you know? You basically just try and kill 0 people when you design a product. I think that's a totally healthy, sane goal to strive for. And I'm not going to say I take slight to when people call me unreasonable or unhinged for being like, why don't we make some products that they just have, you know, as close to 0 death as possible. And you know, I've touched on this in some of my writing, and we'll touch on it some more, like things like knives. That the function of the design actually necessitates a certain level of danger. So, you know, that knife is not able to fulfill its intended function if it weren't for the danger. And that's not cigarettes. And I really, in my heart of hearts, don't think it has to be cars. And I think it's a miracle that we've just kind of accepted that thousands of deaths a year is an acceptable thing, you know? That's about as good as cars are gonna get. We just can't do any better than that.